Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Keeper Calvin, or if you know me in person, you can also call me Kuya Calvin. And we'd like to welcome you to the Keepers Club podcast. So, this virtual gathering that you see before you on your Zoom or YouTube screen allows us to have this great privilege to host a podcast and to hold a podcast hosted by Keepers Club, a club that aims to keep young people like us away from negative activities such as smoking, drinking, doing drugs, and to help guide and uplift young adults like us who are tuning in, especially those who might be going through depression, loneliness, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. And we have the privilege to have keepers that are willing to join this week's recording to share their experiences on how to stay healthy, happy, and motivated, because at the end of the day, that's really the goal of the club, for keepers to share with others as one were to do with their own brother or sister. And just like the club slogan, I am my brother's keeper, we will do whatever it takes to share the love that we experience individually and as a group. And we love to also thank the founding president of Keepers Club International, who is none other than Apollo Kibuloy, for this opportunity to be a part of Keepers Club International here in the United States of America, as well as the great privilege and entrustment to have a Keepers Club inspired podcast. So without further ado, let us greet all the keepers that have joined today. So how is everyone there? And love, so nice seeing you all. So hi once again to so nice seeing you, everyone. Keeper Sherlin, Keeper Mari, Keeper Bella, Keeper Yao, and also Lourdes. Nice seeing you, Keeper Alex. How are you there, Keeper Alex? Nice seeing you, Alex. You this is your second time here, right?
Yep, second time.
Yeah, go Alex. Woo! Alrighty. And also welcome, Keeper Fran how do you pronounce it again? Keeper Francis?
Francis.
Oh, I'm sorry, one more time.
Francis.
Francis. Oh, nice seeing you, Keeper Francis. So, yeah, how are you, by the way? How did you come to know this podcast, by the way? Or like, how did you hear about it, if I may ask?
Last that let her speak.
Oh, go last that. All right, so
Yay.
hopefully, I'm sorry. Yeah, hopefully he joins. We'd love to see him, but that's so awesome to hear. And, um,
I'm right here, Kuya.
oh, word. You guys are together? Wow. Go last that. Woo. Alrighty. So welcome. We hope that you are just as excited as us, Keeper Francis. And be safe also. Uh hopefully the last that doesn't bother you too much, right? So alrighty. Let's move on. So alrighty, so how's everyone? How's your day, by the way? We love to see everyone, by the way. Kindly change your names once again. Privacy reasons. We want to protect everyone. But once again, this is the Keepers Club podcast. Let me lower it. Alrighty. So, Keepers Club podcast, episode 20. Alrighty. And we want to incorporate some Keepers Club history, right? So, Keepers Club International was first founded by Pastor Apollo Sikibeloy. And we wanted to underline some of these. We really wanted to have this opportunity to really give the credit due, right? And to really resonate with what a blessing it is, you can say, to really see how Keepers Club has truly flourished and prospered since 1986, right, in Davao, City, Philippines. Also, Keepers gatherings, in as you can see, it is virtually, but in person, it consists of lighting up the night with songs, music, fellowship, and constructive small group sharing and discussions. Right? So, especially if you're into music, or if you're into, really chatting with your brothers and sisters as here in your Keepers family, Keepers Club International, and really having group sharing and discussion once again to really reflect on our growth and reflect on our life challenges, reflect on how to really mature to be useful members of society, right? And Keepers Club International, not only in the Philippines, but all over the world, right? United States, as you can see, Canada, United Kingdom, Italy, Belgium, Spain, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and many more, right? So if you ever were to travel outside of town, feel free to jump in and join your Keepers Club International there, right? So, and for an introduction for the Keepers Club podcast, we are once again a podcast to help guide and encourage, uplift the youth. We do this through Zoom. We post our full episodes on YouTube and on Facebook, where we post our group photos, you can say, where we see everyone's beautiful faces, really remember such an awesome episode, right? Um, and we host these every Tuesday, 6 p.m. here in Chicago. Love from Keepers Club Chicago, by the way. You can also think of it as 4 p.m. in California time. That might help. And the reason we do this once again is because I am my brother's keeper, right? So we really treat one another as, we really watch out for one another, protect one another, and really, be that listening ear, be that brother or sister that one might feel like they never had before, right? We can really be, if you don't have someone to really comfort you or to really encourage you, to uplift you, or to really be once again that listening ear, or someone that you can really jam with or gather with, or attend in-person gatherings with. We can be that those friends, or even your spiritual family, you can say, here in Keepers Club International. And because truly we always aim to gather, bond, and share with keepers all over the US, right? Um, Really quick, I did see someone jump in, so I just want to make sure we greet them accordingly. But hello once again to Keeper Janet. Hi, Keeper Janet, and also there was someone else, right? No, but how are you, Keeper Janet? How's your day? Nice seeing you, Keeper Janet.
Hello.
Yeah, how are you? It's like it's like your third time, right?
I'm good.
Or at least third
Yeah,
time.
I've been joining.
You'll be joining. Yeah, we're so glad. So we hope you enjoy. But how's your day so far? It's going well.
Yeah, it's been good. And yours?
It's good. Thanks so much. Always it's always good. So yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, we're very happy. Like awesome keepers, continue to join, returning faces, and tune into, the to check out the new topics that we have every week. Right. Alrighty, with that being said, can I ask this time any keeper, that like your experience on the podcast, right? Like check out our experience so far. It's also updated. It's pretty updated, right? And then these are some of like our most memorable episodes, things that we really learn from, things that we really continue to grow, right? So these are just 9 of episode 20. Wow, so awesome, right? But of that being said, any keepers, especially from these group photos, would you like to share what you think about the podcast, other than it being humbling, a privilege, and how we talk about the struggles of being a youth? Oh, any takers, any volunteers? Unless I'll have to. How about any of the strong and memorable keepers that are showing their videos at the moment? We love to. Would you like to share? Keeper Bella, Keeper Mario, Keeper Sherlin.
I can share. So, from my experience in joining our Keepers podcast, it's very fun if you allow yourself to make it fun. like, participating and being able to connect with one another, and also being able to just sit down and talk about things we didn't even realize we could relate to each other about. Because in this podcast, we really talk about the struggles and the issues that happens in the world we live in now. So being able to discuss on that and being able to relate to how sometimes it can get draining to young people, especially here in America, it's a good thing because we can all discuss how we struggle and how we can also enlighten one another and guide each other as well. Although we're so far away from each other and we live in different states and cities, we can still all come together as one and share our advice to help pick one another up.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, just like y'all said. Woo! And that's so awesome too, Bella. How you're able to share and play ukulele at the same time, I think, right? So, oh, that was you, yo. So, hopefully you can save it for well. We love to see you share more of it for a talent show, right? But speaking of yo, how about you, Mario? Go yo. Your experience on the podcast.
So my experience with this podcast, I've been doing for quite a while, and I find it a really good way to express like what you're feeling, especially in this type of generation where everyone's just trying to bring each other down. But here in the podcast, we're lifting each other up. So I find it's like free therapy. Honestly, it's such a nice, welcoming environment. So I really enjoy it.
I love Keeper's podcast.
Woo! All right. Wow. Okay. Very nice response. Keeper Mario, Keeper Bella. So, um, and likewise too. Not only is the hi Lestat, not only is like a therapy for all the keepers, but for yours truly as well, right? Not only therapy, but to really challenge one another as well, right? So, really quick, how are you there, Lestat? And Keeper Francis, how are you, Lest? Wow, how are you guys there?
Good. We're good.
You're good. Your day's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go last that inviting people to the podcast, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, go last that.
Yeah.
No, so that's really awesome though. So keep going. Last that. Go long go. Ready. All right. Any other takers before we move on? Oh, let's do Ati Sherlyn first.
Yeah, I really like these papers because it's uplifting my everyday when I listen. What's your story? Like it's giving me, yeah, it's giving me inspirational words.
I can go next.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll keep it moving. But also too, keeper, thank you for sharing, keeper Sherlyn. You have like the best background, right? So, nice background, keeper Sherlyn as always. And go, Gab.
All right, thank you. And so my experience with this podcast are so far, I guess you could say this is a good way of practicing your social skills, and especially having, I guess you could say this is also like if you consider it a not toxic friend group, because I know some of us have toxic friend groups in our schools or something, and this is here in Keepers, and here in the Keepers Club podcast, this is a space where we could really, speak freely without being judged, and not only that, we're getting advice from one another, communicating with one another in a positive way for our lives. So I've been enjoying the podcast so far.
Yes, sir. Likewise, Gab. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's keep it moving, if that's all right. Alrighty. So, go back here, and I'll show you this one. So thank you for everyone sharing. It's nice too when it's coming, not only just from one person, or especially just like the one, like it's nice hearing other opinions, right? Alrighty. So once again, very humble, privilege, and all these awesome group photos, everyone's beautiful face. So before we officially jump into our discussion, as tradition, we always have this opportunity to break the ice, our icebreaker, right? So we want to get an atmosphere of all the keepers that have jumped in, also anything that we can really share, right? So you might have recognized these. Finish the sentence, show us your stuff, and talent show. So for the finish the sentence, we will play with the chat box in case you know, we can really get used to, in case you don't want to be vocal but you want to chat also. So I'll stop sharing the screen. But for example, opportunity to really share your day too. In case you want to share something about your week, something you did recently, right? For example, something I did recently. So we love to, feel free to. I'll do my thing also, but we also have this opportunity to greet all the keepers because we really post these full episodes, and of course for any of the keepers, not only from the US but outside of the US, for anyone who's tuning into these episodes, who really like virtually acting as if they're joining, right? Maybe they don't have the Keepers Club in their state or country or continent, but um, we always, encourage you to join your Keepers Club there in your respective area, your respective areas once again. But with that being said, I'll jump into, but go keeper Gab. You want to Disneyland, Gab? So goalkeepers going to Disneyland, going to Cali. Wow, painting. Oh, you did painting though? You're doing show us your stuff. And you got a lover. Go Alex. You got a lover, Alex? Go Alex. So yeah, go Alex getting a lover. So thank you for sharing with us, being so open, I guess you can say. But loving your cosplays always. Go Alex. And I'll also do um alrighty. But other than that, thank you for participating, right? It was okay, let's move on. Finish the sentence. And also too, anything you want to share that you're comfortable with, anything you did or anything you're excited for, right? So feel free. But how about this? Keepers Club has a special because Keepers Club has a special place in my heart because um but also once again, we take this opportunity to not only greet the keepers but also the keepers in this podcast, right? So once again, hi also keeper Vince and also keeper Hannah, keeper Sai Sai. Happy belated birthday, Sai, right? And I like to say something. Yeah, feel free. Keeper Niles, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
The Keepers Club has a special place in my heart due to the fact that the host of our system finally has people that he can actually talk to without having to search for them too hard. And he knows that he can come here every week and at least talk to people. So it has a place in my heart because of how our host has some people to talk to now.
wow. Was that keeper? Was that you, keeper Alex, or keeper? Is there a keeper Niles?
We have DID, which includes the fact that we aren't one person in a body, we are multiple people.
Nice. All right. So yeah. Thank you once again for being so open, keeper. Um, should I say Alex or Niles? My bad.
Uh,
Making sure.
our collective name is Hopeless if you'd like.
Hmm. This has like a negative connotation, hopeless. But can I call
Well,
you
it's
Keeper Alex?
Keeper Minxwell works too.
Yeah, for sure. Keeper Minx. I'll try to remember that. But thank you, Keeper Minx. And I'm glad you're able to find a liking to the podcast, right? I mean, I could only assume or hope, right?
I do find a liking to this podcast.
Word. Likewise too. And very nice seeing you once again, Keeper uh Minx. Can I write that down? Minx. All right. Oh. All right. So thank you for sharing once again. And all right, how about let's move. Should we move on? Okay, last one. That's cool. Yeah, feel free to jump in, everyone. But this one relates to our topic today. So I am strong because follow your heart, right? But just know too that um oh, likewise too, Keeper Mari, that Keepers Club has a special place in my heart. This is so uplifting, right? We meet once a week. But imagine the keepers or even like the keepers club that wish they had like a program like this, or they wish they were able to have maybe other keepers. So it's a huge blessing. It's a huge privilege that there's a great amount of keepers right here in our country, and we're able to see one another even though we're not together physically. You can say that we're all bonded spiritually, right? And go keeper minx strong strong today because you can help everyone in the system by making and eating food, right? But yeah, I know for well, I get ready too. I know for me, like keepers club, I'm strong because of the keepers club. Keep me motivated, wake up every day and be like, I can do something for keepers club and the other um activities involved with it, right? Yeah, and happy we can talk about that too later on in the month about Thanksgiving. It'll be like it's funny, like in school, but we'll have like a deep discussion about it, like really being Thanksgiving, right? So go Gab, always good vibes, positivity, right? Alrighty, so thank you everyone for sharing. Go keepers. Once again, let's move on. Show us your stuff, right? Alrighty, so do this. Okay, so how about we got this though, by the way. So it will not only something. Okay, hold up. All right, how about this? Show us your paintings. One sec. Can you describe your painting, by the way?
My inspo came from a song, so I couldn't fit the word strong on here. But this is, and it's inverted too. So if it looks weird, I apologize. But it says, "Be strong, take courage." I messed up on the yeah, but it's very pretty. This is
Um, so when we were painting, we were surrounded by water, and I thought of a song, and if the song has the title "Storm" in it, so I made a storm with water.
one of our Keepers Club activities.
Upside down.
Yeah. Wow. That's so nice though. Was that today? Go bells.
That
Go
was Sunday.
Hmm. Word. So yeah, wow, that's so awesome. Thank you for sharing. And then right, be strong, right? I got some also. Any other paintings? Got- wait, one. I think I did this a couple years ago. Wait. Enough of me. Oh, you you got one too, Gab? Gab, did you do that? Wait, did you do that, Gab?
No, this is my grandpa's, but I just wanted to show it since we're showing
Hey.
paintings. But it's one of my I guess you could say it's my favorite painting
Mm.
I have in my house.
Oh, go Grandpa Gab. Word. Nice haircut too. I also at the Kendra, and I'm glad it might seem like a good amount of time we're using, but you know how often you get to show off your painting, right? How often you got to show off your grandpa's painting, right? And then how about anything else you're willing to share? I was gonna do like show us your water bottle, but show us your dog, instrument, pet. You got an instrument too. Got a uki. All right, so go all the keepers participating. We love to see everyone's beautiful faces. But if not, it's okay, of course. But let's move on to our next one, right? So speaking of showing us stuff, how about talent show? So with that being said, we really have our podcasts also to really discover the hidden talents, the God-given gifts that, you know, a lot of people um don't know they have, or that they have and they don't have an opportunity to share it, right? It's not only just singing and dancing. What about, you know, playing an instrument? What about poetry? What about writing? What about improvising? What about speaking, right? So with that being said, would anyone like to share? Yeah, if you wanna share too, Keeper Alex. Or I'm sorry,
It's
Keeper
fine.
Mink.
Okay, so here we go. Starting off with, okay, this is going in letter order. Aces, AI, Alice, Alex 1, Alex 2, Angel, Angie, Axel B, Bishop Boo, Bree, Carter, Celeste, Cherry, Chris, Cozy, Dakota, Dylan, Fuyu, Garnet, Haley, Hayes, Helena, Hina, Intex, Jake, Jay, Jess, Joe, Kay, Kai, Kaito, Case, Ko, Cody, Kai, Kyle, Lady Demetrius, Len, Leon S. Kennedy, Lucas, Luke, Mark, Mary, Matthew, May, Mazami, Melissa, Mew, Michaela, Mike, Miku, Millie, Milo, Mon, Mono, Mossy, Moxie, Niles, me, Nim, Nixie, Plague, Chi Chi, Quackity, Razor, Razor 2, Reiko, Rose, Winters, Ryan, fictive of Satan from the Bible. Don't question it. Scarlet, Scars and Stars, Shoal, Sherry, Birkins, Shin, Sora, Sparky, Sparrow, Sparrow, Sahara, Starlight, Technoblade, Tom's, Sue, Victor, Void, Willow, Yanshan, Zane, and Zach. I got the last two mixed up.
No, you're good. I'm glad Keeper Minx. I was gonna say like, is this a whole like dictionary or something? But go Alex. Keeper Minx.
It is
Sharing the
perfectly
name.
fine for you to get it mixed up. It's normal.
Yeah, but much love, goalkeeper Minx. Woo!
And that's only the people we know of.
Hmm. Yeah, but just know too that like think about it. It's like a talent to remember stuff. You know, people like remember like a scene they could paint, right? Or they can memorize like a book or like certain parts of the book, right? Or they can remember, you know, they could remember something and then it could really, you know, benefit other people around them. Right? So go gift for memorization, keeper minx, right? So thank you for sharing. I never heard something about that, right? But how about anyone else? Any other talents? Would you like to share? Oh, for real? You, yeah, you go, yeah.
So we kind of, I'm sorry, we've did this song before, but there's a difference. The other one was on guitar. This was on instrument, the ukulele. So
Wait, really quick, cause wait, I just want to make sure before you perform, you don't have feedback, right? Because sometimes there's feedback.
I think there's an echo.
Can you still hear it?
Hmm. Can you sing a note?
Like, good?
Yeah, you're good.
okay,
All right.
People killing, people dying, children hurting, you hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? love? Where is the love? Where is the love? The love, the love.
Oh, so awesome. Wow, you guys like collaborated too. Let's give it up for Yella and Bella. Woo! Ready, so. Wait, one more time though, say. Or thank you, I shall say, right? So go Yella, go Bella. This is like short too, right? So nice one too. Keep singing, ukulele. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else, especially they've never performed before or practicing to perform? Oh, Ton. Go Ton.
Yeah, I want to
Oh yeah.
play the song in rendition of Black Panther that's gonna be screening tomorrow. Hold on. Okay. So it's Lift Me Up by Rihanna. This is the song that they're gonna put for the Black Panther. It's okay. Okay.
Go Ton.
Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound, burning in a hopeless dream. Hold me when you come to sleep. Give me the warmth of your love when you depart, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Keep me close, safe and sound. That's it.
Go Ton.
I haven't practiced the
Ton, that
chorus.
was so pretty. That was really pretty, Ton. Wow.
It's very high. I just went low.
Nah, go
But
Ton. They should have hired you in the Black Panther. Bro, go Ton. Right?
hey,
So go Ton. Once again. No, I really like that though. All right, with that being said, anyone else before we officially jump into our discussions? Anyone? Honestly, I'm like, I always prepare, but I'm like nervous. But seeing you guys perform makes me want to perform too, you know? Right? So,
Okay, can I perform? Is that okay? Or actually,
test. I gotta make sure the guitar goes in now. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Thank you, huh? Yeah. Wait, can you guys hear me? Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully the guitar picks up. Okay, thank you, huh? It's like a hassle moving these around, but gotta do what you gotta do. Ready? Oh yeah, I might need a. Oh. So. Staring at the stop sign, watching people go drive by T-Mac on the radio. Got so much on your mind, nothing's really going right. Looking for a ray of hope. Ooh, whatever it is you may be going through. Ooh, I know it's not gonna let it get the best of you. You're an overcomer. Staying the fight till the final round. You're not going under. 'Cause God is holding you right now. You might be down for a moment, feeling like it's hopeless. That's when He reminds you, you're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. Don't quit, don't give in. You're an overcomer. Don't quit, don't give in. You're an overcomer. Don't quit, don't give in. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. Alright, let's move on. So,
Kuya Calvin.
hopefully the audio connected, but
That was great.
we have this opportunity to always share our talents, right? So, something to always look forward to every week. And just know too, we'll be that podcast, that platform where you can really show off your gifts, right? So, there's a lot of hidden talents in the world, and but with that being said, let's move on, right? So, go all the keepers. Alrighty. So, as a disclaimer, we always have, to really rated everyone podcast, right? So rated everyone, kindly avoid cursing, sharing anything traumatic, and please prevent from saying anything that goes against our slogan, I am my brother's keeper. So thumbs up. All good? One's good. Good. All right. Thank you so much. Go. So for episode 20, it is called Trust the Process. Trust the process. So before I'll start to share some music. And also, hi also keeper Danner, Rebundin. And make sure we have some background music. So trust the process. Really think about what that means to you, and then we'll get into it. So the process. And then we want to have also some definitions. We also try to have like a foundation, we don't want to by our feelings. We want to, make sure we have like a solid foundation once again. So definitions for trust the process. We want to discuss the word trust, firm belief in reliability of truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Progress, forward or onward movement toward a destination, and supports a thing that bears the weight of something or keeps it upright. Right? So, and more about the trust the process. We just underlined a couple of things we want to emphasize. So trust the process means letting go and having faith that things will eventually work out in its own time. Also, people need to have patience and faith in themselves before anything happens for them. And right, we all have goals in life. Behind our goals, there are underlying motives why we want to achieve them. So this kind of something complicated, but we wanted to really include it. But basically, you can picture it as something like in work, right? In like our workplace or in a job. So this is kind of like, you're first starting off. You're like just newly employed. You want to make money, but essentially too, you don't really. You're not as committed. You don't have the hardworking mindset, right? You really need that nurturing. You need that someone. You need the attention. You need someone to really guide you, right? But maybe you start to learn. You start to know what you're doing. Maybe people start to trust you, right? And then, eventually the goal is to really be, an overcomer, you can say, or someone that someone can they can trust your business, the job can really trust you, can really use you, and you can really be a leader, right? So, also, actually, right? So it is kind of complicated, but like, let's try it though. Let's all try it. Like a simple exercise, right? Think about it. If we really were to self-reflect, what race are you running in your life? How is your support system when faced with hardships and challenges? And who do you look to keep that fire burning? Right? So something to think about, something that keepers forget to think about. And you really think about it, it's like, wow, like, what motivates me to keep going? Do I have a support system? Who can I fall on? Who can I really talk to when I feel like giving up? Who's something, someone, or someone, something that I can really, really go to when times are tough, when I feel like giving up? And who do you look to keep that fire burning? Right? Or, do you give up? Right? So it's something to think about. It's like, or are there times where we give up? Are there times where we really push ourselves or to really have discipline? Right? So with that being said, I can copy and paste this, but it's just something to think about and something that, really gets our brains gearing. Something to really touch upon the topic of trust the process, right? When things don't go our way, when things, we realize that we're not in control, when we realize, that things happen for a reason, right? Yeah. But with that being said, for our official episode 20 question, what does trusting the process mean to you? So, actually, I cut it off for a second. But episode 20, what does trusting the process mean to you? How can keepers be more aware of the discipline and attitude? And why is it important for keepers to reflect on their progress? Right. So I'll change this to mean, trusting the process mean to you. But think about it, right? Discipline, attitude, why is it important to reflect? And what does, we can start off, what does trusting the process mean to you? So as I copy and paste, we learned also that trusting the process, it's like, it's really a mindset, but I think apparently it originated by like an NBA team. It's crazy to think, right? They were losing, they were down, and they're just like, you know what? The coach is telling the team like trust the process, right? But it's something that a lot of us do. We don't know what's gonna happen. There's no promise, right? That we really, not a lot of times there's a process, right? But with that being said, what does it mean to you? Why should keepers be more aware? And why is it important for keepers to reflect on their progress? So, one second. How about this? Also, discussion time, right? So, no wrong answers. We love to hear your thoughts about our podcast topic today, that being trust the process, right? And participation is highly encouraged, right? So, feel comfy. You guys, we all joined, right? So don't be afraid to share. If you want to even chat or in the chat box, or if you want to elaborate, you want to mention anything, no matter how short or how long. But in the meantime, let's start this podcast. Let's discuss trusting the process. It's a very nice topic that all the keepers all over the world can relate to, and it's also can be considered a struggle, of being youth. Thank you for that. But yes, would you like to start it off, Gab?
Yeah, sure. So in my own understanding or my opinion, trusting the process is like, just being patient. Because a lot of people, especially since all of us are so young, a lot of us have many dreams and ambitions in this world. And, sometimes not everything can go your way. Like, for example, playing guitar, you know, you're not gonna be good overnight. it takes practice, and you just have to, as long as you put in the work and you put in the effort, you're gonna continually grow and you're gonna get better, and you'll reach your your goal. But the main thing is that you don't give up, and but you just have to have faith in yourself and trust the process. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, you're right. Trust the process. Right. So thank you for jumping in, Gab, being the first one even. So how about anyone else? Like rapid fire. Oh, for real? Yep. Funny, y'all. Yo, yo.
So what trusting the process means for me is like, it's like kind of similar to the quote, don't be like, when you run the race, it's about the journey and not the destination. I feel like it's kind of like that. Trusting the process isn't saying, oh, I want to do something right away, like this. You have to like wait it out, be patient, and really, it's like testing your patience, because I'm that type of person who wants everything done immediately. Ask this guy, but trusting the process is something I actually kind of need to work on. So yeah, this guy can go.
Okay, something to add on to what Keeper Mario said is when she said being patient, you really, when you're trusting the process, you really do have to be patient with yourself, because most people tend to get really they get so tired of having to wait, and they get so tired of going through that hard journey that they're trying to reach their destination. And along the way, of course, it's sometimes it's never easy, because of course you're gonna have to experience some hardships in order to grow from it and also learn from that as well. So you really have to be patient with yourself, like what Keeper Mario said. And also another thing about one of the questions where it was like, how good is your support system? You could have the most biggest support system ever. Your family could be your biggest supporter. Your friends could be your biggest supporter. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's your decision to push yourself to keep on going, whether or not you want to finish the race or end the race. It all ends on you. It's your decision to find the strength in you to say, okay, I will continue this journey that I'm on. Because again, you can have the biggest support system ever, but even though they're feeding you all these positive energy, you have to choose to pick yourself up and continue that journey.
Wow. My son bells, go Mario, go Keeper, this guy. But
Calvin,
yeah. Thoughts on?
I want to answer the last one. Why is it important for you to reflect? Kind of like what they said, you have to see how you're doing in order to see if you need to. So, for example, you're running the race, right? And you're making it, but you were not the same as you were in the beginning. And I'm coming more into the let's say business people. They weren't all successful and rich, right? And throughout the journey, because not all of us are rich. Some of us are, mid class or lower class. It doesn't matter. We're all trying to work to make our lives better here, right? And in the process, it times will get hard. But the last one says, why is it important for us to reflect? Is when you have a goal and you went about it one way, but throughout your journey, you've been thrown down, pushed down, and you have things indoctrinated to you in your mindset. You have to reflect on yourself, because you gotta see if am I still doing the right thing to get to point A to B. Because a lot of times when you're trying to go from one place to another, there will be difficulty, trials, right? That you don't see yourself. You think that you're doing. You know what I mean? So it's really important to reflect on how you're progressing as you continue with that process, and also trust the process, because even a butterfly, Now they're pretty, or a moth, they're pretty when they're fully transformed, but when they're larva or caterpillar, they were ugly. Of course, you would think they're ugly, but as you trust the process, they turn out to be this beautiful thing. So that also you can put that in for your journey in your traveling, in your day or whatever your goal is to get this job, to graduate high school or whatever. You know, we're gonna go through ugly times. I'm gonna put it down as easy as possible. We're gonna go through ugly times, but if you trust the process, in the end, something beautiful will come out. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
And thank you, Ton. Wow, very nice. The analogy of like a butterfly and also keeper Bella. About this support system, right? So I want to add on to everything, but let's keep it going though. Anyone else who, you know, before they forget their thoughts, or if they want to share, or what does trusting the process mean to you? Or how about in situational cases, right? Maybe you want to relate it to, your family, or something that you might have been going through, something that you've been through, that you're willing to share, that you're comfortable always to that you're something that you're willing to share, that you're comfortable with, right? Like we always want to make sure of that. Um, but
I can go.
oh yeah, go AC.
Okay. So I would like to answer the first question first. Like, what does trust the process means to you? To me, basically, like, it means to me that things like may look bad now, but there's the like things may look bad now, um but things like are gonna get better in the end, because trusting the process means it's about accepting the trials and the hardships that will happen along our journey to like success, because we all know that nothing not we don't get how do you say it, we don't get things without going to sorry, without going through any trials in our lives, because basically for each and every one of us, we all have some trials and hardships along our journey to like get like to achieve our to achieve success, and yeah.
Mm. Yes, thank you, AC. And yeah, very nice. Like it reminds me too. Like you reminded me how, you know, like some things are meant to be hard, right? Or, there's a lot of times that we sacrifice for a result, right? Or there's no glory if there's no sacrifice, right? So nice one, Ton. Or AC. Sorry about that. Go AC. Is that a ukulele, by the way? Guitar? Picture? But yeah, and likewise too, Gab. All things worth fighting for are not easy, right? So how about just some questions, like in case it's like also, I didn't think about that. Maybe I could share. How about growing as an individual, right? And we know too that this topic is like it is kind of like complex. Talks about being corrected, talks about growing, talks about your support system, talks about your faith, right? But how about something like um trusting the process when you go through trials, right? And really how you react to it, or how does it contribute, or how does it contribute to your success or your failures, right? So anyone like to share, if you're available, if you've been here too, maybe just wanted to mention you, show some love also. Keeper Vince, Keeper Hannah, Keeper Janet, Keeper Brendan, Keeper Kate. Happy belated birthday, by the way, Keeper Kate. Keeper Eunice. Hi also, Keeper Isaiah. Ati Kendra. Don't worry about me though. I'm comfortable with silence, but if that's what it takes for someone to share, if they want to jump in, if they want to elaborate, we're all comfy here. We're all keepers here. How about? All right. Maybe I could relate it to like the podcast, right? Because I remember the first episode. I was like, "Hey guys, let's talk about how your day was." And then my answer was like, "You know what? I got to try Taco Bell, right?" But I think about like why did I say that? Why did I do that, right? But you think you trust it. You learn from your mistakes, and then I just want to make sure I don't do a mistake like that again. I don't want to regret it. So we are who we are now because of our failures, right? And a lot of times, or maybe all the time, our attitude says a lot about us, right? Maybe, for example, if someone's showing us some tough love, you can say, right? But sometimes, or someone's showing us tough love, our attitude can go two different ways, right? One can be like, "Thank you, I didn't realize that. Now I know. I'll make sure I won't do the same mistake. I'll do better. I want to do better. Thank you for watching out for me," right? Or it could go another way. It can be like, "Who are you to talk to me about like that? Like, why don't you do it?" Or like, "Oh, if it's so easy, like you're not being a part of it," like the attitude of like the bad attitude, right? Like just being envious or not really seeing the lesson behind it, right? So think about it in everything, right? What about correction from our parents? What about correction from people we respect? What about what about even someone that you what about from like our teachers, for example, right? Even though we might not know, even though they might not have the same mindset as us, it's still our choice to really rebel or to really learn, to grow, right? So, can anyone relate? Does anyone have an experience, or would you like to elaborate, regarding attitude and correction, how it can contribute to, growing as an individual, or something that you've learned, relating to that through Keepers Club?
I can go if no one else is gonna go.
Yeah, go, yeah.
First of sorry. Before when my mom used to like correct me, I used to get like really sad because every time someone yelled at me, I used to cry a lot. But now I just take it like a I don't want to say take it like a man because but I take it more personally and I just, use that correction and apply it and not, get sad at it. So I say like growing from, being corrected and finding the difference between being corrected and being yelled at. So that's what I used to struggle with. But I'd say now because of the Keepers podcast, although we haven't like talked about this topic really, but we have talked about, not giving up. So that kind of applies to it. Yeah.
Go, y'all. Go, y'all. Oh, thank you for sharing. And I kind of want to hear from Ati Kendra, Keeper Kendra, or Keeper Isaac. Nice seeing you, Keeper Isaac. Will this work?
I just entered, so I don't really know what we're talking about.
Oh, all good. I appreciate your honesty. But yeah, um, what's a good way to say it? Can I ask you something though, Keeper Isaac, and then maybe just speak from the heart, like off the top?
Okay.
Yeah. How do you keep your fire burning?
I think I just every single day I just listen to the song when we're going to school. I just listen to the spiritual songs that my uncle Tito Anthony plays in his car, Um, you know, I mostly listen to that, and I sing a lot of them, and then that's mostly it.
I love that though. Wow. Keeper Isaac. No, you bring a great point. What about music? Right? Or not even just music. What about like singing your heart out? Right? So that's cool, Keeper Isaac. Thank you for sharing. Also, Keeper Isaac's uncle, right? So but anyone else would you like to share? How about how do you discipline yourself? Right? Could be music, could be another keeper, could be someone you looked up to, right? But um yeah, anyone else? Especially we love to hear everyone. Um how about you, Gab? Would you like to answer again? I like to see you, by the way, that's why.
Yes, Gab.
Go, Gab.
Hello, everyone.
Put your thing.
Hi, Keeper
Hi,
Alfie.
Kia, Alfie.
Hey, Cleo.
Hi, guys. Good
Hi.
evening, praise the Father. Um, uh, so, are you guys like? Do you feel a little bit confused, or you guys know where we're at right now? So, just wanna. I think we'll get to left off from. I'll go from where Mario said a while ago about correction from parents. So this is very very important for young people, and not just for young people, but for all of us actually. You know, as you're growing, we're all growing. Who's not growing? You know, we all are. So it's not just also. It is about trust the process. But what we're trying to get into this is really seeing yourself growing as an individual, knowing from all what you're going through and things that you are kind of battling this silent battle deep within you. Like you want to grow, but then there's these things that like it's hindering. Sometimes it's like, you know, from the correction, the disciplines from your parents, and then you kind of misinterpret that as like, you know, not caring about you because they're not supporting you. And then, so how do you kind of see beyond that? And then you can also take, you know, so let's say, you know, from what Mario said a while ago, like the correction from her mom, you know, and then she said to really, you know, just take it like, not like take it as a mad, but like, you know, to really look past that. So it's just, do you think like every correction and discipline that you're going through, that is like to put you down, or that's to lift you up? And sometimes like, you know, the emotions that you get because it's just like too heavy, and sometimes you don't really get the that kind of what do you call that, that kind of vibe that like, you know, that you're looking for. So, you know, so this is it's that also goes not just like family situational cases, but it also goes like in life, you know, what you're going through. Like, you know, you might think, oh, life is treating me so unfair, or why is it that like, you know, why is it that, you know, my mom treats different to my sister and she's treating me different, it's unfair. Like, you know, do you get those thoughts? I think sometimes you do, you know. And then what if like, why is it like, you know, I like, you know, you're so hard on me, like, you know, but you're so soft on her or him, you know. So like, you know, sometimes you get those from parents or probably from teachers. So like, you know, do you just follow what you feel, or can you see past through that? Like, can you see like a purpose, that there's something building within you, because why is it like, why is it that treatment was given to me? you know Sometimes, like, if you can see, like, how you can see past through any kind of correction and discipline, it takes a strong character and a strong attitude to do so. Because any corrections and discipline that you go through, and then you just kind of follow what you feel, just follow, like, oh, like, I don't get the support, and then, like, I don't think I feel valued here, so I should just leave. Sometimes, most of the time, that happens. If, like, I think also, not just talking about you, but then if you think of other young people, and then they get scolded, and then they get corrected so much from their parents, and they feel like, oh, I don't feel my parents love me anymore. And then they don't feel that support. Where do they go to find that support? They go with their friends, and sometimes if those friends have those bad vices, and they end up, not having this good future, because they didn't see pass through that correction and discipline that they were going through. But then the reason sometimes that your parents are hard on you, or anyone, or a leader is trying to be hard on you, is because they see a potential in you that you can be this responsible and accountable. And at the same time, it's also preparing you in the future. It's preparing you for you to be that kind of person that you ought to be. And there is something they're helping you. It's just that it's a shock approach. So that's why, like, we had this thing like trust the process, because sometimes it's boring, it's hard, it's tough, but then we all need to grow, and we're all growing also. And not just you, because the experiences that you're going through, you're also going to use that to help others to grow as well. And then if you're having a great life, that's great. But if you're going through something and you're also overcoming, and you got that experience, now you can say it with a testimony that you could share with others, with conviction of those, of your words, of your life, because you've gone through it, and you're helping them, you're making an impact. So what good of a life could it be, like, that you're making an impact to someone's life, right? And that's we should always look at that way. Like, any kind of like situation we're going through, how can you see the good in that bad? It takes a lot of mental kind of lifting to see the good in the bad. And I know others will, we have that, like, kind of like a model that we can see. But what if to those who doesn't have anyone to look up to, how are you going to help them to see the good in the bad? How are you going to kind of motivate them, to inspire them, to help them? So take anything that's going on in your life as a lesson that can help others as well, for a better future. And if you're having that bad experiences, be thankful for them, because we know others are going through the worst. And if that is worse, if what you're going through is worse than what others are not going through, then that can be a testimony to help them. So that's one thing also that that's very helpful for each and every one of us, especially as young as you. And we're able to say this because we were once like you. We had that mindset just like you, also that kind of feeling, that kind of, what I think, that's the world, and what I think, it's, and that is it. And if you don't support what I don't think you love me, I don't think you support me, and that's it. And sometimes we just have to kind of look past that. And because the older we get, the wiser we become. And then we are also here as brothers keepers, because we are here to help one another. So yeah, if anyone have something to share, like, that you think, like, it's injustice, it's unfair, you know, take that lesson, like just really try to see the good in that bad, and you can see growth in you. You know, yeah, that's true. Look at what Anthony said. Knowledge comes. What was that? That's pretty cool. Knowledge comes throughout time. We are wiser the older we become. That's right. So you know, that's very perfect. And I know there's more in you that you can share. You can just share. You have a lot of what to say. And if you're afraid to speak up, don't be. You know, take that first step. Take that first step, because then how are you going to help other if you're not going to say anything? You know, if someone's going through anything, they're going to have a problem, what do? Just stay quiet? No. You always have to, you know, share and just like, you know, speak up. And just take this platform to really get that into practice of like sharing, and you know, of what you're going through, so that when the time comes when someone is in, you know, in need of help, you can really help also. So yeah, that I think that's it for me. And then, you know, if others would have something to say, yeah, take the chance before it becomes a memory. So take the chance, guys.
I would like to say something.
Go, Bella.
So actually, I used to be really scared of speaking in the podcast because of how many people was in it. I'm the type of person that didn't really like talking in big crowds and having everyone, like just a group of people just listening to me talk. So when I started speaking the first time, it got better right after that. So if you just not only trust the process, but trust yourself to have that strong courage inside of you to take the first act, the first step of doing something you fear of doing so much. Sometimes we let our anxiety and our own emotions take over, but it's our own emotions. We have those emotions in us, which means we have control over our own emotions. So my advice is to not let your own emotions take over you, because we have that power within us to choose whether or not we want to feel that way or not. So I trusted not only did I trust the process, but I trusted myself as well, trying to begin to start speaking in the podcast, because as a keeper and as someone who joins daily, you know, we all have that accountability. We had a podcast about that a while ago, but each and every one of us has the accountability to talk in this podcast because we took it upon ourselves to join. Although yes, we're listening and we're getting that advice and that enlightenment from each and every one of us, we also have to take that first act of courage and speak out to others and share your experiences, because once again, everything we talk about, everything we share, it all comes based off of our own experience.
Thank you, Bella. And so nice too, Bella. Like one of the first keepers I met outside of Chicago, and then seeing how strong she is today. Like, for real, right? Even connecting it to the podcast and the podcast topic. But just like Bella was saying, right? All the topics relate to one another. The struggles of being a youth, right? Like self-reflection, like fear, being humble, insecurities, right? Impact and sharing. They all relate. And really trusting the process, right? Like it's very nice, you know, seeing all the keepers really willing to share. And I think just for me, it's even though you're not there's not many, we're not always having like the keepers here to share, you know, it's still really awesome. It's still there's still a blessing, you can say, for people, for everyone to join, you know, to be a part of it. to be a part of the podcast, to feel belonging, the brotherhood, and to really see one another virtually. But I do agree, with Kuya Ping. Like, if you have a desire to really share, no matter how bad you sound, you don't speak the same language, or you don't, you're shy, or even for me, like I'm talking to myself too. Even if I don't know what to say, how to say it correctly, even if I'm murmuring or stuttering, I just want to say it. I want to share it. That's what I've learned. I just want to share it. You take it or leave it, but at least I did my part, right? So that's the beauty of the podcast, you can say. And we really thank Keepers Club International for this opportunity to share, see one another, and to really grow as a keeper, right? So that being said, any other would anyone else like to jump in before we move on to our
Can I speak?
somewhat closing, you can say? Yeah, go Isaac.
So if you don't trust, I think if you don't trust the process, I think it takes a big impact on all the abilities you have, because sometimes when you let your nervousness, anxiety, all those feelings right next to you take over you, I think they're just you're too focused on your nervousness and all that, so you forget what you're about to do, and the things that you want to do, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't do that, because you're too nervous to do that. Like if you want to go up to somebody and say something, or you want to perform for like a talent show, but you decide not to, you wanted to. So I think if you didn't trust in the process, that it takes a lot of abilities that you have away from you.
Yes, thank you, Keeper Isaac. Thank you. I was choosing music, but right, seeing as someone as young as Keeper Isaac, jumping in, sharing. I mean, matching outfits. Always like the cutest one, Keeper Isaac. So thank you for sharing. And right, so, but copy. And but I don't know about you guys. It sounded very nice discussion so far. Any last thoughts before our before we move on?
Can I say something before we move on?
Oh yeah.
So about the thing where you said where like all of the podcast episodes are connecting to the, it all comes back to one thing, which is like our slogan, "Am I my brother's keeper?" In a way, because are you helping uplift those around you? Are you helping those around you, not bringing them down? So I like joining the podcast is such a welcoming environment, and it's such an easy way to get vulnerable and emotional. And although sometimes like you may not feel like that, but we like it's such a good place to get vulnerable and express how you feel. And it's not always about being happy. We can also talk about all the struggles we have as well. Struggles of being a youth, especially in this generation of youth, all being exposed to all the drugs, all vices. And this is just a place where we're open to all the good things about the world, but also the struggles, because it's just so open and such a good place to share and express.
Keeper Mari, and likewise too. I'm glad you mentioned that, y'all. Like, even if you're not sharing in like the podcast, right? You might be sharing in person, to your respective Keepers Club. You might be doing your part, which is so awesome. It's very inspiring too. And you think about it too in Keepers Club, not only here in the US, but think about it like just like Maria was saying, we can also talk about our trials. We can be vulnerable here. If you're comfortable, if we will match the energy, right? But think about something we didn't mention in the Keepers Club history, right? Think about it, that there's young people, there's young adults that they grew up from broken families, who grew up with parents that were divorced, or they grew up without their biological parents, but they found they found like the spiritual family in the Keepers Club, right? So even if you had like an awesome upbringing, you can say, they found like another family in Keepers Club. They found that they have a talent for something, right? They're not using it for fame, for riches. You know, they're not using it for to look down on others, but they're using it for keepers. You know, to be a blessing toward others. They're using it to really inspire other young people. You know, to really be a part of the keepers, right? And you know that's contagious too. You know, it's like love, you can say. It's not the love that we found that we were giving off from our own, but that we found through Keepers Club. And we thank the founding president, of course, that he is really, it's all possible because of him, right? If anyone deserves, you know, any of the credit, it always goes straight to the co-founder, right? And think about it too. I think last thought from me before we move on with the presentation, right? You know, not only in the podcast, but in person, like I mentioned, you know, reach out to your Keepers Club. You want to go bowling? You want to have music jam sessions? Let's go to karaoke bar, Korean barbecue, to run around an anime store, Japanese supermarket, Korean store, right? Or let's sit down and drink bubble tea and talk about things, right? So, you know, not only in this podcast, but it's really it's really awesome seeing all the keepers sharing, doing their thing too in person. So go all the keepers. But with that being said, let's see what else we have in our presentation, right? So let's give actually, you tell me actually, right? So that was our discussion time. But uh, I was wondering, like, we have some shout outs, of course. So feel free anyone to interrupt me. But some shout outs, of course, new faces. I'm not sure if we have, maybe I don't know if she's here still. But you know, go all the new faces, keepers tuning into this episode, returning keepers, right? Go keepers. Angelo, Kate, Keeper Anthony, Bella, Eunice, Gab, Isaac, Isaiah, Mari, and Bella, Shannon, Sherlyn, Hannah, Kendra, Vince, and also Keepers DVO Dan, right? But once again, of course, you know how much we owe it all to Keepers Club International and our beloved founding president, you know, none other than Paulo Kibuloy, Pastor Paulo C. Kibuloy. And we put in this quote too. It really relates to our topic today. Discipline gives you wisdom, instruction gives you knowledge, correction gives you understanding. Right? So we'd also like if anyone were to, you know, to maybe explain what this quote means to you, or maybe in another form, you know, if you like to say a final thoughts, maybe, you know, talk about this or our given topic. Um, but with that being said, any final words, any final
Well,
any,
is it alright if I speak?
oh yes, Kate?
To me, like the quote just says that we can't live without any of the things mentioned because what will we be if like we don't go through all of them?
Wow. Go, Kate. Wow, like first time I think, right? But nice hearing you. And birthday greetings from Keepers Podcast, Kate. Ooh. Alrighty. So thank you for jumping in, Kate. And anyone else you like to share, like to say hi, like to share your, or mention anything, any violent reactions from the podcast before we close? But you know, the night's still young, right? So is there anyone in this podcast like to jump in or share or final words, final thoughts? Feel free to also correct me, tell me things like or all of us that we can do better for the podcast next time. Yeah.
I can. Oh,
Hey, Kuya
I can.
Marcus.
Yes, Belle. Yes, Belle.
Oh, you
Oh,
can go, Kuya Dan, if you want to share something.
No, I'll be last.
Go
Thank you, Belle.
Bells.
Okay. Something I can say about the quote you showed us earlier. Can you put it back up again? Sorry, I can't see.
Yeah,
Can you
sure. Why not?
out?
1 second. Here you go, Bells.
Okay, so discipline gives you wisdom, instruction gives you knowledge, correction gives you understanding. So what this quote basically means to me is when someone's like, I wouldn't necessarily say positive, not the best way, but when someone's telling you how to do something correctly, sometimes all you need to do is humble yourself and not say anything and just take it like a man, because everything that they're pouring out to you, whether it hurts your feelings or whether you don't like what they're saying because your pride is being shut down, it's giving you that wisdom, it's giving you the understanding of where you messed up and how you should fix it. Because when they're correcting you, that's what they're basically telling you. They're telling you what you did wrong and they're telling you how you should fix it. And from there, you gain that wisdom. And for the next part of the quote, where it said, what was the next part, Kuya Calvin?
What?
Instruction gives you knowledge. So basically, the same thing. When you're getting disciplined, they're giving you instruction. So you're gaining that wisdom and that knowledge. And when someone's giving you the correction, you finally get the understanding because you decided to fix it. You begin to understand the bigger picture they were painting for you that you couldn't quite see clearly because out of your decision you chose to take all of that in and you chose to fix what you did wrong. And now that you've committed to fixing that mistake, you gained the better understanding of what that person was trying to explain to you from the beginning.
Wow. Go Bellas.
Perfect.
Hey, Bells. And yeah, thank you for talking about the quote. Right. So, we'd like to also especially greet Kuya DVO. Hi, Kuya Dan.
Hi,
Hey,
Kuya
everybody.
Dan.
Yeah,
Good,
hello
Dan.
everyone.
Hi, Kuya.
Yeah, Angelo, Sherilyn,
Hi, Kuya.
Shinilyn, Belle, Mariel, Anthony, Kendra, Eunice, Kate, Vince, Hannah, Isaiah, and all those who are here anonymously. Once again, I'm so blessed and thankful once again to be here with all of you on behalf of our founding president or chairman of the Keepers Club International. At the moment, we're busy here. Yeah, if you're aware, there's a storm that has consecutive storms, so we're um, preparing relief goods for all of our countrymen here, all of our kababayan. So I'm thankful for the time I was given to be with you and for hearing all of you sharing your experiences that can help other young people through this podcast. So as one of the resident ministers here, I'll just give you some verses that will guide us along because the Bible or the Word of God is the manual of life. So it will lead us to the direction that we should take. So in Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." And in Philippians 4, 6 to 7, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God." So pray, let him know what you need, and he actually knows what you need. But that is a form of communication where we share, like talking to your physical father. You let him know what you need. So that is what we do through prayer. And then the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And Psalm 37:5, "Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass." So it also has faith, believe in him, and according to your faith, it will be yours. And Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. So plans and thoughts, that means sometimes we have our own plan or our own dream for our life, but the Almighty Father has also a dream for us, a greater plan. So sometimes it's hard to see the good, as you mentioned earlier, the perspective, to see the good and the bad. But we also use the eyes of the Father Almighty, the spiritual perspective, to see the good, that there's always an opportunity, there's always a silver lining, there's always a light at the end of the darkness, and there after the storm, there will be peace. The sun will shine again. And like our founding president, he always teaches us, dream big, believe in yourself, don't give up. I can do it. And we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And in our topic today, trust the process. Like a clay, like a diamond, like a gold, like an athlete, like a musician. If you had art class, when you're forming the clay, you have to make sure that there's no cracks. So you have to smooth it out. And then when you put it through the fire, you will produce that finished product that you can display. Like a diamond, it goes through this rough process in the ground, extreme pressure, the heat of the Earth's crust. If you know science, it will, because a diamond, it's like just a carbon. It doesn't have any value. But if it goes through that process, it will become that valuable diamond that you see that is in the store. And then gold, the more it goes to the fire, it's purified. It's more valuable. And like an athlete, that's a process, practice, discipline, a musician. And most successful people, if you have heard their story, they go through sacrifice and they go through pain. And that builds character. It builds your values, your personality into the person that we will become. So there's a coach that will always correct us with love. There's instruction, wisdom. Be humble, because it will bring knowledge. It will become understanding once you accept it. So your parents, give them credit, your guardians and those who are taking care of you, because that's their job, that's their role, to train up a child. And as children, it is our role to accept that correction, because it will lead us to becoming a better person one day. So enjoy the journey, all the experiences in your life, all the pain, suffering. It's part of like the soup. There is the spices. It makes it taste good, So make your weakness into strength. And like the Almighty Father, He doesn't look at our past, our present, but He looks at what we will become one day. So it all starts here. This is the beginning of our race, our journey. So finish the race, get to the finish line, achieve your dream. Don't complain. Don't be disappointed. Always be happy, be positive, because it starts in your mind. So make up your mind, endurance, perseverance, and remember, the Almighty Father is with you always. He knows what you're going through. He says, don't worry, because He even feeds all the birds, and He even clothes all the flowers. So in our parting words, the words of the Son, words of our founding president, when you trust in the Father, He will give you extra power. Fear and doubt are the opposite of trust and faith. Don't be afraid of the future. Just trust and have faith in Him. And when you have faith and trust in the Almighty Father, peace will come to you. So once again, I'm so blessed and thankful. And I was like all of you before. I was very shy until I became the person who I am today. It's all because of Pastor. So stay strong. You can do it. Sometimes all that it takes is a leap of faith. So go out of your comfort zone and will bring you growth. So once again, advance Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. It's Christmas here. There's all lights in the compound. So in the Philippines, Christmas starts when it's birth. So we're all busy decorating here, all the lights. And actually the kingdom, the background of Gab, no, it's like Christmas all year long. The lights are always on every night. So we're happy and excited to see you soon here in the kingdom. So I give back all the thanksgiving once again to our founding president, Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy, and keep up the good work, everyone. And may the Father Almighty bless us all. Peace the Father.
He's the Father. Amen, Kuya. So, thank you for sharing, Kuya. And I don't know about, well, I share the ending. I don't know about you guys, but just seeing, someone like Kuya Dan, and like even the privilege to get to meet Kuya, it really reminds us about all the other keepers that we got to meet, and it really makes the kingdom, a reward, seeing our spiritual family much more real, right? So thank you once again, Kuya, even also for the keeper's history that we included. Yeah. Oh, and yes, don't.
I just want to add something to Kedan. What Kedan said. It's just a quote that it really stuck to me. It says it doesn't matter how you start, but what matters is how you finish. So as Kedan said, hold on to our beloved pastor, to the founding presidents of Keepers Club, because our efforts will soon blossom into fruit. We're just branching out right now, but then we'll start bearing fruits pretty soon. So thank you.
Thank you, Ton. Alrighty. So, see you there, Kuya Dan. Woo. Alrighty. So, once again, our shout outs, and we hope to see you next week for episode 21. And don't ever forget, right? I am my brother's keeper. So, feel free to check out Keepers Club Podcast on YouTube, see all our recordings. That's where we upload them, actually. Right, all the beautiful thumbnails done by Keeper Angelo. Go AC, right? And of course, Keepers Club International, 6 p.m. CST. Keepers Club USA. And of course, so we hope to see you next week, episode 21. Don't forget, I am my brother's keeper. And also, we love for you to join our Keepers Club podcast group photos. Right? So, yes. Stop sharing the screen. But we love to see everyone. What a nice episode. Nice haircuts, everyone, also. Nice keepers outfits. And let me record this. Recording it gives like a better quality, right? But we'll do it like this. We'll do it like this. How about 3, 2, everyone ready? 1. Maybe a normal one. Smile. Hi, Eunice. Yeah, jump in. And then one more. Let's do the keeper's logo. I am my brother's keeper, right? So let's give it a 1, a 2, 3. And hi, Vince. Woo. Alrighty, so yeah, that was a nice episode, right? But of course, once again, see everyone next week. Feel free to stay. I'm assuming, but other than that, what an awesome episode. Episode 21, trust the process. Go Keepers, trusting the process. And what a successful episode. So thank you, Pastor. Thank you, all the keepers. And go. I am my brother's keeper.
You guys. Also Isaac.
Hi, good Dan.
Yeah. Got your friend.